Hello, War of the Visions newbies. This is Suspect Amy, and I'm here to do a quick video about how to approach your initial summons if you are a brand new War of the Visions player, or you're re-rolling a new account. I actually did a 15-minute quick start guide around 3 months ago, but the game recently added an additional free level 120 hero and 4 max level high-end vision cards to the newbie summons. You may be thinking, so what? This is a much bigger change than you think. I don't know why Gumi did this. While yes, it's true that you can create a very powerful account with these new summons, it's also true that a new player that doesn't know what they're doing can totally blow it and set their account back in a big way. I'm hoping I can guide you away from making any mistakes here. Just a reminder, as soon as you get into the game, enter a friend invite code to get an extra 10k viz. You don't need to use mine here. Just find one on Reddit or Discord somewhere and use it. This makes such a huge difference. 10k viz basically doubles the viz you receive over the first 2 days. Okay, so you can pick 4 level 120 heroes and 4 vision cards. Why exactly do I need a guide? Heroes have elements, and vision cards have elements. I just match these up, what's the big deal? It's not that easy. Heroes and vision cards also have attack types. Equipping a fire magic user with a fire physical attacking vision card will nerf that unit's potential. Some vision cards also have powerful espers, and these also contain elements and attack types. To pile on top of this, not all vision cards are created equal. There are some heroes in the selector that can have incredible synergy with very powerful vision cards and espers, but there are also some heroes on the list that don't have these synergies. You need to be very careful about what heroes and vision cards you pick, and I'm here to help with that. Let's start with your 4 hero selector. In my previous guide, I said, pick anyone you want, just try to stay away from choosing units with the same weapon type. Is this still the case? Wrong on both counts. Feel free to pick multiple units of the same weapon type. You can get 2 very good pieces of the same type of weapon within a few hours of playing the game. One can be bought from the MR shop, and the other by just clearing the first floor of a reliquary. What about picking anyone I want? In the past, you only got 3 heroes and no high-end VCs or espers, so the content you would be clearing was mostly just story and low-level far plane chambers. Of course, you can pick anyone you want for that kind of stuff. Now it's a completely different ballgame. With the new summons, you have the ability to clear level 80 brutal difficulty missions, probably within a week of playing the game. Since this content is on the table now, who you pick with your summons starts to matter a bit more. At the bare minimum, you should be picking at least 2 units of the same element, maybe more. Not only do they give each other elemental bonuses, most brutal difficulty missions have 3-hit elemental chain quests that are impossible to achieve without several units of the same element. You'll also have an easier time clearing this kind of brutal content if you grabbed a tank and a healer. War of the Visions famously doesn't simply tell you what role each unit plays, so it's easy to mistakenly pick too many support units. I'll try my best to break down each hero summon group, give you some information about their role, and suggest what vision card you should summon along with them. Here's Group 1. All of the heroes you will be picking are very strong 100 cost units. This group, however, is full of 70 cost characters. If you are buying the extra 99-cent hero, I would skip getting a vision card aimed at anyone in Group 1, and instead focus your 4th vision card on your 99-cent guy. Shalzi is a fire support unit. She uses a magic staff and has a very buff-heavy kit. While she's constantly making your team stronger, she can also toss in a few heals. Her biggest drawback is that she's slow and does very low damage. It's really hard to recommend Shalza because there are very few magic-based fire vision cards and espers to choose from. If I had to pick something, maybe Encounter of Heroes, although you would be missing out on getting an esper. Grifford is an ice axe attacker. Even though he's meant to be a damage dealer, he has ridiculous HP and very nice counters, which means he's really tough to bring down. He also has great defense penetration, so his damage is decent for a 70 cost. Dark Odin is the vision card I would pick for him. Bronwell is a dark greatsword attacker. Of the 3 on this list, she probably hits the hardest. She also has some decent survivability. The 2 things that work in her favor are she's dark and she's a greatsword user, which is still one of the strongest weapon types in the game. For vision cards, Dark Bahamut would be my first choice, but Two-Headed Dragon is also something I would consider. Group 2. Flag Glassy. She's a wind spear attacker. When she was released, she had the highest attack in the game, but that was like a year ago. She is great against evade units, and she has a 3-hit chaining skill. At this point, I would say she's a generally all-around solid unit. I would choose Dark Tetrasylphid for her. Dark Fina is a Dark Staff Mage. You can build her as a support, or you can build her for damage. She has good survivability, and she can hit pretty hard with her penetration buffs. As usual with units of her type, she's a bit on the slow end. It's hard to recommend Dark Fina. While there's a ton of Dark Espers out there, none synergize with Dark Fina well. Even something like Diablos is weird, where the vision card is physical-based, but the Esper is magic-based. If I was picking a VC for her, I'd probably just stick with Black Rose of the Battlefield, but you'll be missing out on an Esper. Howlet is a ice magic sword attacker. He's pure damage. I would say Howlet hits the hardest of this group, but he comes with the usual downside with hard-hitting mages, being slow and having low survivability. The VC I would get for him is easily Dark Shiva. Group 3, Alaya is a very strong lightning striker. She dominated when she was released, and I believe she's still the best fist unit in the game. She has everything: range, survivability, damage, can hit evade units. She autos very well, and she has a 3-hit chaining ability. There's almost no downsides. I suggest Dark Ifrit for her VC. Melnia is an Earth Gun attacker with high crit and incredible range. She works well against re-raise heroes. I would say her biggest drawback is that her damage is a bit underwhelming compared to the other two in this group. Dark Titan is my choice of VC for her. Stern is a light sword attacker. I think he's a pretty strong character all around. Good survivability, good mobility, and good damage, but just doesn't do any one thing extremely well. Of all of the heroes in these summons, he's probably the only one you could potentially build into an evasion team. I would go with the Dark Bahamut Vision card. Group 4. Saul is a Fire Staff Mage who probably does the highest damage of all of the heroes in this entire summon. This guy absolutely incinerates people. He also has better survivability than typical high-damage mages, although he still lacks mobility. Sol suffers from the same issue that Shalza has, where there are very few magic-based fire VCs and Espers in the game right now. Since you already get Ramu as a newbie present, you can potentially level that card and Esper for him. Another strong general VC for Sol and your whole team could be something like Trousseau. Young Elde is a water spear attacker who is a great pick against magic units. His movement isn't great, but he makes up for it with top-tier survivability. He can slink his way across the battlefield and just obliterate mages. His biggest downside is that he's weak against bulkier fighters who have high pierce resistance. Dark Siren would be the VC I'd pick up for him. Young Helena is a light staff mage who is a PvP goddess. She has re-raise and can heal on attack, but her bread and butter is her long-range AoE debuffs, like Sleep, that can really turn the tide in a battle. While she's not the hardest-hitting mage on the field, her utility is undeniable. She also has a 3-hit skill, so if you pair her with another light unit like Stern, those chaining quests will be a breeze. The easy choice for her is the regular non-dark Bahamut VC and Esper. Anyways, I hope this video helps you beginners and rerollers start your accounts off right. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching my video. Bye everyone!